What's good, guys? Prince Sports here, coming at you with another one. Now, just when you thought it was safe, I always said the Utah Jazz was having problems. They gave away Rudy Gobert. They gave away Donovan Mitchell's best friends, and they cut off ties with him. These owners are fed up, and they're starting to clean house on a lot of teams. And guess what? Spider now is on the move after the Utah Jazz said from top to bottom, we're not going to trade Spider. We're not going to trade Mitchell. Now he's on the move. Now he's going to be traded. Sooner or later, he's going to be traded. Teams are now taking offers. The Nets are inquiring about him. And guess who's inquiring about him? The Lakers, the most desperate team in the NBA, with LeBron James on it. LeBron James probably picking up the phone right now. Can I get more All-Stars? Can I get more All-Stars? How many All-Stars does this guy need? Seriously. Now, LeBron James is a good basketball player, so is Kevin Durant, but they're bad for basketball, man. I don't understand how you can actually cheer for this. These guys don't want to compete. All they want to do is just play with every All-Star. Just give LeBron James the whole Western Conference All-Stars. That's all we need to do at this point, because this man don't care about competing. He don't want to beat nobody. He don't want to prove he's better than this guy or that guy. He just wants to play with them. I don't understand that. To me, it doesn't click in my brain to why would you want to just play with everybody? Everybody is linked to the Lakers? Are you serious? How many All-Star players got to be linked to the Lakers? You know, if he does get traded, spread the wealth around, man. There's other teams here. What about my Knicks? You guys just going to keep taking everybody and give all the other teams scrubs? Come on, man. How is that good for basketball? How? You know, Knicks, get a hold of Mitchell. Get a hold of Spider. Let's try to bring him to New York. You know, I'd love to see him come to New York because we don't have an all-star player. And I'd love to see that, you know. But, yeah, man, he's on the move. Now, this takes a big play into things because the Brooklyn Nets now have leverage. They could go and try to get Spider. Or the Lakers could go to the Jazz and say, hey, we want Kyrie Irving. Maybe we could find a way to give Spider to the Brooklyn Nets and send Ben Simmons to the Utah Jazz, since the Utah Jazz is now doing what the Spurs doing. They cleaning house and they're just trying to get rebuilds. They're getting all these draft picks because they're rebuilding. The Utah Jazz is doing the same thing the what's that team called? The Spurs is doing. They're looking to rebuild, and they're all going after this supposedly great draft pick, this guy that's from France. I don't even know him from a hole in the wall, but I heard he's good. And I heard this next draft pick, this next draft class, is going to be better. It's going to have a lot of good marquee players out the league going to want. So a lot of teams are tanking for good draft picks now. So if that's being the case, send Mitchell to the Knicks or send him to the Brooklyn Nets, because the Nets aren't going to have nobody at the end of this. When this is all said and done, they're not going to have nobody. So they might as well just get Mitchell and call it a day. You know, Donovan Mitchell on the Nets with a bunch of role players is not what he wants. But then again, you have a better chance of making the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference than competing in the Western Conference with you by yourself with a bunch of role players. That's not going to work, you know. So Ben Simmons is tradable. Kyrie Irving is tradable. Kevin Durant is tradable. The Brooklyn Nets got the best trade assets. They got all the top good players that you could get for trades. The Lakers really got nothing in this to offer but Westbrook and a team player that nobody wants. So to me, that shouldn't even be in the conversation to compete for Donovan Mitchell. But it is what it is, man. Sports out. Peace.